Have you ever worked for someone with a fancy title who couldn't actually lead? A manager, sure, but not a leader. The one who made you wonder what the difference between a leader and a manager actually was, if there was one. Because surely there is one, right? You followed instructions, sure, but you didn't trust them. You didn't feel inspired. You weren't growing. Well, you are right feeling icky and uncomfortable in this situation, my friend, because leadership and management are not the same thing. And if you've ever wondered deep down whether you could do it better, whether you had what it takes to be a real leader, but that you told yourself all the usual suspect arguments are not loud enough, not high up enough, not charismatic enough, this video is for you. Because today I'm going to show you what makes an inspiring leader that people remember and how to become one. One that people want to follow, even if you're not the one in charge officially. Leadership is not about a job title, it's not about power, it's about presence and influence, but especially care. First off, let's set the record straight. Leadership is not management. Not by a long shot. Management is about process, it's about control, it's about systems, structure. A manager's job is to keep the machine running, make sure everyone is doing what they're supposed to do, that the timeline is followed, the reports get done, and the boxes get ticked. And that is necessary, don't get me wrong, because things need to continue running, but that's not leadership, that's logistics. Leadership is something else entirely. Leadership is about energy, influence, intention, and trust. It's about who you choose to be when people are watching, but also and especially when they're not. If management and leadership were people and they were having a conversation, management would say, "We've always done it this way, so let's keep doing it." Where leadership would ask, "What are we doing exactly? And why are we doing it this way? Is there possibly a better way of doing it that we haven't explored yet?" Seth Godin paints this beautifully. He reminds us that management came from the industrial age. Think Henry Ford, think assembly lines, think uniformity, obedience, productivity. That system gave you a raise if you did what you were told. But what happens when the world changes? When markets shift? When teams grow more diverse? When innovation becomes survival? Management collapses. Because you can't manage your way out of chaos. You have to lead through it. And that is the new way of getting a raise. Leadership says, "I don't know where this road leads, but I've got a compass and I trust it. If you're up for the ride and you trust me, let's go." And that's where we're going next. Let's talk about one of the most toxic myths about leadership. The belief that pressure and fear drive performance. That really annoys me. We've all heard it, right? If people are scared of losing their job, they'll perform. If we keep the bar high, they'll rise to the challenge. If we track them, they won't slack. But here's the thing. Fear doesn't create loyalty. It doesn't spark creativity. It creates silence, compliance, disengagement, resentment, sadness, and loneliness. Simon Sinek shares the story of Noah, the barista who worked at 2 hotels at the same time. At the Four Seasons, his managers asked how he was doing, if he needed anything. They treated him like a human being, and he lit up. He delivered great service. He loved his job. But at the Caesar's Palace, the managers were constantly correcting, micromanaging, controlling. So Noah kept his head down, avoided risk, just tried to get through the day. Same person, different system, different leadership. And here's what's crucial to understand. We don't get better people by hiring better talent. We get better results by creating better environments. Because leadership is not about forcing output. It's about unlocking potential. It's about making someone feel comfortable, asking questions, being curious, proposing new things, and having a building and sharing mentality. It's about making people feel safe and change their way of seeing failure to an opportunity for growth. It's about valuing people, lifting people up, shining the spotlight on them and supporting them when they need it. So when someone's performance drops, don't say, "You've been underperforming, fix it." Say something more like this. "I've noticed something's off in your performance lately. You perform really well usually. Are you okay? What's going on?" That's empathy. And empathy is not a soft skill. It's a leadership superpower. Because when people feel seen and safe, they give you their best. Not because they have to, but because they want to. So now you might be thinking, okay, sure, but what if I'm not the one in charge? Can I really lead? Let's be honest. So many of us hold back from leading because we think, I don't have the title, I'm not senior enough, I'm not competent enough. But here's the truth. Influence doesn't require permission. You don't need to wait to be chosen. In fact, don't. They won't. You can choose yourself. Here's a quote that I love and that I try to live by. Be the person you're waiting for. Don't be passive, waiting for someone to do what you wish. Be active and go do it yourself. Take on the responsibility and lead by example. As Simon Sinek puts it, you're not in charge. You're responsible for those in your charge. You're at their service. That means leadership is not about standing above people. That only makes people feel small and stifles their growth. As a leader, you want people to grow, to bloom, and to let their full potential shine. Isn't that why you hired them in the first place? Leading is about standing beside your people. It's about helping them rise, holding space for their ideas, nudging them forwards when they've forgotten how far they've come. Holding them up because they make you look good. It means celebrating for them when the spotlight's not on you. It means giving away the credit when things go well. It means shining the spotlight away from you to them. But it also means putting your neck out for your people when it's needed. It means taking ownership for their mistakes. It means being a genuine support and a strength when things aren't going your way. And taking responsibility for it, even if it's not your fault. And that takes courage and humility. And that's exactly what inspiring leaders do. One of the most powerful redefinitions of leadership I've heard is this one. Be the leader you wish you had. That's it. That's the invitation. You don't need power to do it. You just need a decision to listen more than you speak, to elevate others, to protect, trust, to stay open when it's hard. Seth Godin said, most of us are flying too low, too afraid to speak up, too conditioned by systems that taught us obedience instead of ownership. But the moment you decide to lead, even quietly, you start changing the story. You take control. You take responsibility. And there, my friend, is your growth. So, let's talk a little bit about courage. Because it's one of the most underrated skills in leadership, and the one that is hardest to fake. See, we love to associate leadership with charisma, with vision, with boldness. And yes, those things matter. But if you're not courageous enough to act on your vision, what's the point? Courage is saying, I believe in this person, even if they don't believe in themselves. I'll speak up, even if my voice shakes. I'll go first, even if I fail. Because the truth is, you will fail. But the thing is, it doesn't matter if it's not always a win. What matters is how you deal with it. Do you see it as a failure or as a possibility for growth, for learning? As the saying goes, fail early, fail often, but fail forwards. You need to see failures as opportunities to grow, not setbacks. If you view life this way, you are set to win, my friend. Leadership isn't a straight line. It's a loop. You try, you get it wrong, you adapt, and you go again. Seth Godin calls this the leadership loop. And he says that what stops most people from ever becoming leaders is the leader's block. Like the writer's block, it's this fear of not being good enough, of messing it up, of being exposed, of being an imposter. But guess what? Nobody was born a leader. Courage doesn't mean you're not afraid. It means that you decide to act anyway. You want to speak with confidence? You want to boost your self-esteem? Then don't wait until you feel ready. Start with what you have. Speak what you believe. The confidence comes after. As everything, it comes with practice. The more you do something, the better you become at it. If you need help building that presence, your voice, your charisma, your clarity, you can watch this video next. I've put in it lots of practical things that you can practice to grow your confidence. I've also put a few documents for you in the description below. And if you've made it this far, comment "Failing is learning" below and let me know. Let's wrap this up with the most practical difference of all. Managers maintain the system. Leaders move people forward. Managers ask, how do we stay on track? Leaders ask, where do we need to go next? Managers protect the present. Leaders build the future. And in any company, any team, any relationship, we need both. But if we want cultures of trust, innovation, and purpose, then we need more people willing to lead, and leading the right way. The positive and collaborative way that fosters trust and innovation, not competitiveness, distrust, and aggression. That doesn't mean quitting your job, becoming a CEO, or starting a movement. It just means take responsibility, choose courage over comfort, and show up for people, not just processes. People, people, people. Never forget that. We are all just people. Because your leadership doesn't start when someone gives you permission. No one will. Don't wait for it. It starts when you take action, when you take initiative. Another quote I love here: if they don't give you a seat at the table, bring a folding chair. That's Shirley Chisholm. Love that. Let me leave you with this. Leadership is not about being the loudest voice in the room. It's about being the clearest, the most courageous, and the most human. The one that cares. It's not about being in charge. It's about being in service to the people around you, to the vision that drives you, and to the future you dare to create. And if you've ever been told you're too quiet, too thoughtful, too different to lead, don't you dare dim yourself. You go for it. We don't need more carbon copies of power. We don't need more competition. We need more originals with integrity, with kindness and courage. Because leadership is a choice, not a title, and it begins the moment you decide to take the responsibility. So if today's message landed with you, like, subscribe. This channel was created to build a world of better communicators, braver leaders, and healthier teams. Just a better world, a nicer world, and a kinder world, a more daring and courageous world built on collaboration, not competition. And if there's someone in your life who's already leading quietly, share this with them. Let them know you see them. That is also the job of a leader, making people feel seen. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you for caring. Thank you for being you beautiful people. Now, go out there and lead. Take care, my friend. Follow your passion and speak up. Ciao, ciao.